So that's a jump. That's pretty easy. I wanted more. I wanted to add a slide animation. Um, with this one, I'm going to do something even fancier. I'm going to add a behavior. A behavior is a state machine behavior rather than the mono behavior. There's a template when you create a behavior. It fills out a template for you. It has a number of on-state events, two of which are on-state enter and on-state exit. With this slide animation, I'm going to instantiate a particle effect, some sparks that when he slides. So on-state enter, when this state enters, it's going to instantiate the particle effect. It's going to put it at the animator's root position with an upright rotation. And then I think I'm going to rotate it so that it sprays the skids out, the sparks out in a particular direction. And on state exit, I'm going to destroy that clone that I created. So let me show you this, and then I'll show you how to set up the animation. Here my character now has a slide animation. The slide animation sprint slide to the right. I'll show you where I got that in just a second. The transition out of it triggers on, it triggers on the slide Boolean, just like we triggered on the jump Boolean. So when it's true, it triggers. And the exit here, it doesn't have a conditional exit. It has an exit time. So it plays the entire slide animation before returning to the run animation. So it goes back to the run animation, but not on a conditional case. It now is going to play out the entire animation and then transition back to it. And you can see how that works and do the fiddling to get things to match here as it goes. A lot of fiddling. So the slide is pretty simple. If the fire button is pressed, we set slide to true. We set, if it's not pressed, we set slide to false. So again, scripting is pretty simple here. We don't have much that we have to do with this. And now, as my character runs around, I should be in the idle state. I'm in the idle state. I start to run. Run is the blend tree. I can jump. It goes into the jump animation. That's also one that uses an exit time. And now a slide, I believe, is the left control. And there he slides, and the particle effect manifests. Oops, don't run off the edge of the world. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. The slide, I've added this behavior. And finally, last thing I want to add here is I didn't like the way the character stopped so abruptly. So again, I'll show you the raw mocaps in a second. But I found a stopping animation. And so nothing changes in the scripts here, but now instead of transitioning from run to idle directly, I'm going to transition through this run fast stop idle animation. So it has a transition and then it plays out the entire animation with an exit time, and then it goes back to idle. So now its stop looks like this. Here's the controller. Here's the run stop controller that now has a slide. So it's going to transition out of this when the speed is less than 0.1. It's going to transition back to idle when the exit time is done. and it takes some fiddling to get this to look good, but the fiddling is all happily done. So here we are with our new run stop animation. So instead of stopping abruptly, it's now gonna, let me get on some white here. It's now gonna stop kind of gradually, and then it's back in idle again. This stop is, I think, better than the sort of abrupt transition from run to idle. So let me show you the mocaps here. Oh, one more little trick, a boost feature. The animation speed, the animator has a kind of global function, the speed that controls how fast all the animations run. So in my script, I'm just gonna, when I press the Q key, I'll boost the animation speed 4 times. When I press the E key, I'll reduce it. So I'm gonna have a high speed and a slow speed. And I do this by setting the animator's speed now to this boosted value. And now my little character, and I didn't change anything else in either the controller or the script. And now when I play this, I can boost and run real fast, and I can E key and it goes real slow. And this is handy for actually looking at how the different blends go. Here's my jump, run in slow motion. Here's my slide in slow motion, and fiddling to get the steps to work right. So that's our run through with the Mecanim animation. Oh, one other thing, the creation of the avatar that I mentioned way back, the animator has to have an avatar. With humanoid animations of the kind that we're working with, they're pretty easy to generate. In your FBX, the import for the dude, you've got this rig button. So somewhere here is my little character, the dude. Where is the character? Here's the dude who looks like this. And with the rig button, I select humanoid and I press configure. And if a check mark shows up, everything is good to go without doing anything. This adds to my dude, the dude avatar that I can then drop in the animator. If for some reason it's unable to do it automatically, you'll see an X here, and you then have to configure it manually. You have to go in and select the various parts of the body and which goes with which if the automatic can't figure it out. You can save this as a template file. If you have a whole bunch of characters that all use the same broken skeleton that doesn't work automatically, you can do it on one of them and save that as a template file and get it going. There also are generic and legacy settings here. Most of the modern ones, at least humanoid, work appropriately. Generic and legacy are for old-fashioned animations that don't have root motion, and generic is for things that aren't in any way related to anything that we would consider humanoid. I might give you some notes on this, but I'm not going to go through it here in class.